Last week it was the Battle of the Bowl, was what we billed it. In truth, it didn't really turn out like that. Only one side really showed up, as we said, as St Mary's won by 5-1 against Peel, and they scored all 6 goals in that match. This weekend, St Mary's, they aren't in action, so Peel could return to the top of the league, but we're not going to talk about the top this weekend. Oh no, it's the fight for survival. Survival Saturday. Start with Castletown against Douglas Royal, a massive game at the bottom. It seems every week the round of fixtures provides a couple in there which have massive implications to the way that the season is going to go, and there are 2 in there this week at the bottom. Let's start with Castletown against Douglas Royal. This is huge for both sides.
Absolutely, and as you rightly say, there's a couple of really big games this week, and Castletown against Douglas Royal. When you look back, a while ago, and you just thought to yourself, well, maybe Douglas Royal are going to slip out of the league, but the way it is, Michael Fitzmaurice has got the team together. They've done really well, and I've seen a couple of their games, and they've played some really good football, and credit to them, because the young players there, I just thought, would they crumble? But they haven't. They've dug in deep, and with the experienced players around them, have put in some useful performances. And as well with Castletown, I noticed Jack Kamada was playing or training with the Ireland squad on Wednesday, so that says to me that he's going to be part of team selection tomorrow, which will make them a lot better. But I just wonder if Douglas Royal can continue the fine form that they've had and take the points away from Castletown. It is at the stadium. It's a big pitch to play on. It's a great pitch to play on, and it's up to the best team to win it, really. And I just wonder at the moment, with the form that Douglas Royal have been in, they can get the points away from town.
Royal heading into this game on the back of a 3-0 comfortable win. Again, vital 3 points it could turn out to be against Moran, who are also struggling. And Castletown, they did all right in the first 45 minutes against St George's last week, but in the second half they just crumbled. They're going to need to have 100% focus for 90 minutes tomorrow.
Well, they will, and that happens with St George's, to be honest with you, because when some of the clubs further down the league playing against the top sides, they could possibly live with them with the first half, and then the second half, when fitness kicks in and maybe they concede a goal early on, it can demoralise them. But Castletown have showed this season that when they've got the big boys back, Noah Sansby and Jack Kamada, and Conor Garrett, I think's missed a couple. When those sort of players are in there, it does make them a lot stronger, and they score plenty of goals. And throw Alex Crawley in the selection process, they could do it. But I've just been so impressed the way Douglas Royal have improved during the season, and it's these young players that have sort of taken it on themselves. 17, some are coming up to 18 now, and credit to everyone sticking there and getting it together. But that other game as well, Chris, has got just as much pressure on those 2 teams as well to try and get the points to get them survival in this Premier League.
Well, let's talk about that. Moran host Laxey this weekend as well. Laxey, bottom of the table, but they've had some fantastic results in the past 2 weeks. And whereas Moran had a bit of a bounce in the new year, they got a great point against Douglas Athletic. They beat Old Boys, but they're on... they lost last week, didn't they? 3-0 to Douglas Royal. How is that going to affect their confidence? And Laxey, meanwhile, a great win in the Cup and an even better win in the league last week to really give their survival chances some hope.
Yeah, when you look on paper, both teams have got some really good players in there, and it's getting the best out of them young players. I think at the moment Moran have hit a little bit of a wall, because I thought that result against Douglas High School Old Boys would kickstart them, and the game against Royal, I really did think they had a great opportunity to take the points, but 3-0 is pretty convincing against a team that's alongside them. Now with Laxey, you're right in what you're saying. They've chipped away all season. They've had good performances against some really top sides, but unfortunately at the end of the game they've lost, and lost convincingly. So they seem to have improved that. Take nothing away from the result last week. That was absolutely stupendous, and I just think at the moment that Laxey can beat Moran. I know Moran, I think, are pretty well full strength, but they just don't seem to have it going for them, as where Johnny Palmer has got Laxey firing on all cylinders, and I think that's the big plus for them.
It'd be interesting to see. We know that Moran can pull it out of the bag when necessary. Can they do it tomorrow, or will Laxey make it 3 wins on the spin?